This is Business Therapy, healing businesses from the inside out through communication and emotional intelligence. I'm Diane Dye Hansen, management consultant, and with me co-host Christine Salvo, therapist, certified mediator, and certified hypnotherapist.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, everyone. Who feels human today? Hopefully, all of you. But sometimes business can really test our humanity in just so many different ways. And one way more than most is just not knowing how to deal with the piles upon piles.
I love that you just said who feels human. I think it's almost like secondary thought sometimes of like, wait, I'm human. And then it's like, well, what does that mean? Because we are trying to keep up with usually just ourselves.
Exactly.
But it
I
requires superhuman stamina, strength, energy. Like, oh my goodness.
I am business robot. See me perform.
Well, business robot, mom robot, dad robot, student robot. It doesn't really matter what form it takes. I mean, we're all like kind of burning the candle at both ends so often that we do forget we're human. And when people say, I'm only human, what do they mean? What does that even mean?
What does
What are we
only
trying to
mean?
convey in that?
What are we comparing ourselves to? If we're only human, what's the greater form
I'm
than that?
guessing AI.
I mean, exactly. It's like, yeah, I am human, period. Only is not inferior. We're not supposed to be AI. We're not supposed to be automatons and robots and individuals on autopilot. And what happens is, and our society praises stuff like that. I mean, I don't even know how many stories I have read about, you know what, when executives are starting their companies, they will sleep on the floor of their office to
Yeah,
make it happen.
yeah.
And it's really praised. It's so praised in my new office. I actually do have a corner with pillows and blankets just in case.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. And I mean, this kind of goes around this idea of expectation. And one of my favorite kind of stories to tell people when it comes to this, that I go, well, what do you see in nature? What does the lion do all day? The lion is the most powerful creature, the most predatory. Everyone's afraid of the damn lion. The lion has such symbology too. But what does it do all day? Run around exerting its energy? No, it conserves. It takes these big bursts of energy when they need it. It
Yep.
eats, it digests, and then it lounges again. And when we think of the top predator animal, and that's how it lives its life, and then we see how busy we are, we're a lot more like ants than we are lions.
And ants can easily be crushed.
Busy, 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 busy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I love how you even align it with ants, because in the ant hierarchy, there is a structure there. There is a queen of that mound, and you got all these little worker ants who all they do is work. And the queen, her job is, basically procreate. Procreate, procreate, procreate. And the workers work, work, work. And that's, basically all they do.
Right.
Um, nonstop. I mean, I'm not a biologist, but do ants sleep?
Yeah,
I,
I believe so. When
I
it's
kind of
cold
want to look that
outside,
up.
when it's cold, ants aren't really around, so I imagine that's when they sleep. But really, when we're thinking about it, the reason I bring that up is we're not so detached from our natural world. So ants are obviously insects, lions are obviously animals, and we're somewhere in between, I guess. I know we are. But really kind of looking at in nature, what does it actually look like to be powerful?
hmm But you know what? Even the ant. So this research on do ants sleep? Ants get their sleep through power naps. So, a recent study of ant sleep cycle found that the average worker ant takes approximately 250 naps each day, with each one lasting
Oh,
over just a minute.
wow, that's incredible.
So, talk about the power nap.
Wow.
So even the ant, even the small worker ant, totally crushing it ant all the time, is taking 250 naps a day.
Well, and that sounds more human too. Like, oh
Exactly.
God, we definitely are. So the reason we're bringing this up, so not to just kind of degrade humans, but actually to kind of look at how we're living our lives and what it actually means to be human. So what it actually means to be human is we need rest, we need food, we need play, we need love. Work is a part of our life and it's an important part of our life. I never say to underestimate work because for a lot of us, it gives us a lot of meaning. It helps us fill our time. It helps us get purpose. It pays our bills in some, most instances. So there's nothing wrong with work. But that human side is a little bit more of that softer side. And I believe when people say I'm only human or I'm human, what they're trying to convey is like, kind of be gentle with me, be a little kinder to me. I might be a little hard and hardworking on the outside, but I'm this little kind of mushy thing that just wants love, attention, and affection on the inside, right? Like treat me with little kid gloves sometimes. I'm human. I'm soft. I'm vulnerable. I'm, exposed and scared. I have no fur, claws, or sharp teeth. Like, I'm only human. I can't protect against all of these environmental things all the time.
Yeah, but and we're resourceful, but that culture of the grind tells us use your resourcefulness to do more. Do more. Do more. Are you doing enough yet? Are you educated enough yet? Are you a good enough mom yet, dad yet? Are you growing your business yet? Are you coming up with new ideas yet? Are you innovating yet? I mean, the list goes on in that pressure. And I think, there's, and animals, of course, don't necessarily have that capacity, but you look at some of even the most human type animals. You look at apes, you look at penguins, you look at animals like that, and it's not this culture of are you there yet?
Yeah,
And I think that's really at the core of it. And it kind of reminds me of kids when you're driving somewhere. Are you there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? No.
absolutely. Well, and a lot like our friends, the ants, um, we can get really distracted by just having the tasks, the task at hand, the task at hand, the task at hand, the task at hand, where we're not really bringing that humanity to ourselves and or to our businesses. And so, I tend to do a lot of therapy around work-life balance because it's missing. Most people just have no idea. And it's like, this one particular person was like, I don't take my lunch breaks, I don't take my breaks, I just work straight through, I just eat at my desk. And I'm like, oh, are they paying you for that? It's like, oh no. Okay, well, what happens if your employees do that? Because this person's in a management position. Oh no, I force them to. Well, are you role modeling healthy behaviors? Do you think that, and there's studies to back this up. If you're not taking regular breaks, your productivity actually goes down by significant percents after noon. So if you are not resting, walking, taking care of yourself, power napping, geeking out on an episode of TV or playing Candy Crush in your car, whatever the case is, if you're not taking that mental break, you're not helping anyone. And in fact, you're hurting. Your productivity goes down, you're setting a poor example, and you're not taking good care of yourself. You get mental fatigue. A lot of the fatigue we actually experience is with our eyes, staring at the screen all day. It wears you out even if you don't know it. So taking that 10 to 15 minutes, just close your eyes. Go for that walk, see something else, see something less stimulating without all that blue light and all that distraction, and see how your productivity, how that refreshing energy can come back to work. What do you experience with that, Diane?
So I know that this is one thing that I talk to my clients about as well, from a productivity standpoint, a capacity building standpoint, is that the typical sprint can be anywhere from 45 minutes to 90 minutes, but really no more. At the end of that 90 minutes, there is a severe productivity drop off that starts to result in inattention, missed detail, lower energy. It can manifest itself a little bit like dizziness, even. So that break away from the sprint is essential. And if you're sprinting while trying to multitask as well, you lose up to 40% of your productivity. So that's another thing that can also drain is the non-focus, the one thing to another, to another, to another. And this can be a really difficult habit to break because we're told multitasking is good and until it's not. And this is good until it's not, until the latest study comes out, right? But these sprints really can't last that long because even though you think you're sprinting, even though you think you're getting in the office, I actually had this discussion this morning. Getting in the office, working by 8 a.m., working straight through until it's time for lunch, and then I go out for a walk. So then I reward myself. The lost productivity in that amount of time, could be in the range of 40% of the time past 90 minutes. So is more actually getting done? And then being proud of, well, I define myself as a workaholic. Always have been. I love work, but I'll work on Saturdays. I don't care. And and the question there is really the focus, the true productivity in that. And are you leaving room? I mean, to your example of the lion,
Yeah.
the lion has sprints. So the lion will lays about, will play, will do whatever, but when it's time to hunt, it's time to hunt. And that lion will, roam with its pack and it will hunt and it will chase and it will catch the prey and then it'll drag the prey back and it'll leap and then it'll lays again. And
Yeah, but
that
that
is
laser focus,
that
like when it's
laser.
business time, it's business
It's
time.
business time. And that is nature's best example of block time because it is that sprint, it is that go for it. But and that's also that moment of, okay, I got what I was going for. Rest time, eat
Hmm.
time, human time. The lions do it. We should do it too.
Right. And this comes down to really simple stuff. Yesterday I was training for this new position that I took, and I'm watching everyone. I was just in observer mode. I actually loved it because I had no actual work to do and I just got to sit there and watch people, and I'm a people watcher. And I was watching, I called it the beehive because it was so busy. And one of the ladies was like, I have to pee. And the other lady goes, oh God, it's so hard to do that around here. I forget all the time. And I'm imagining myself coming to this place and actually slowly but surely planting seeds of work-life balance and going, if we're not taking bio breaks, if we're not taking drinks of water, if we're not just breathing in between, our quality, and especially in my field, I will say when you're working with people all day, coaching, different things like that, when you're really a customer service, people can be draining. And it's more to me a marathon than a race, right? So it's a really big deal to me to preserve and only spend the energy I need to all day long, because my philosophy is my 9 a.m. deserves the same energy, tension, and focus as my 4 or 5 p.m. or last night, 7 p.m. And I'm not saying that's easy, but I'll be late to sessions 5-10 minutes and I'll be like, hey, I had a bio break, you're still gonna get 55 whole minutes, but I needed 5 to myself, even if that's just to breathe, do a couple squats, stretch my legs, change positions, get a blanket, whatever my needs are.
Absolutely. I,
But
I have asked clients, I've messaged them and said, can we start 5 after? Need a quick break. And they'll often say, thanks, I need a break too. And
yeah.
and that is and voicing your needs. Sometimes, we're we're afraid to voice our needs because we're not sure if we're going to look unprofessional or if we're going to be met at all. But sometimes, surprisingly enough, when you voice your needs for a little bit of a breather, for a break, um, you know, we are in a remote society right now where a lot of us are on Zoom and a lot of us are on calls versus face to face. And a lot of us just have a lot of work to be doing. And to give that gift of asking for your needs to be met, so maybe someone can have permission to meet their needs too, that's that's really amazing, and it really opens the door for transparent communication for whatever else you have to talk about.
Yeah. Yeah, and so kind of bringing this idea of the humanity into business, right? Of we need breaks. We're not machines. We need bio breaks. Every once in a while, I literally run to the kitchen and throw some food in my face because if my energy gets low, I get low,
Yep.
right? And so managing what we're eating, managing that downtime, managing taking breaks, being honest. I love that you just say it. I'll say it too.
Yep.
Hey, I had a phone call I had to take sometimes. So just life happens too. Even though we're employed, even though we're, there for other people, we still have to manage our lives too. And that can't be second burner.
Hmm.
That does create poor work-life quality and then, our personal lives take the back seat. There's consequences to that. So every once in a while, that bringing that humanity, um, like, hey, boss, yeah, I really do have something I need to handle right now. I really
Yep.
do need that bio break. I get that we're busy, but I'm not going to be less busy in 5 minutes. But that could have some health consequences for me if I continue these behaviors. you know, Frequent UTIs and kidney infections per se. And that really does happen to people. It's like, oh, I developed these things, and it's like, well, why? Are you using the restroom during work? Nope, not at all. I just go, 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 run, 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 and expect my human body not to be cared for, and then I'm still going to operate.
Yep, exactly. And that also pertains to your space as well. It was a really interesting occurrence yesterday, because I just started working in a new office, and I made that gamble to get a space for myself. And after a day of work, I came home and my shoulders actually dropped. I
Mm-hmm.
actually felt like I had returned home to a place of rest and relaxation, and this is where I feed myself. And it was a feeling that I have not felt in 5 years. And I had no idea how it was impacting me because I was of the ilk of I'm going to save money. I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
save money. I'm going to work from home. I'll set up this little nifty place in my house, all of that. And that giving myself that gift of separation. And I don't care if it's coffee shop, I don't care if it's a co-working space, whatever, to get out of your nurturing element, the place where you feed, sleep, entertain, rest. um it's kind of like the lion. I love this lion analogy, so I'm going to keep on doing it.
Yeah, I'm
It's
glad.
kind of like the lion going, all right, I'm going to hunt, but I'm going to do it like really close to the cave because it's the cave. Because the cave is, it's super comfortable and it won't go too far. So I'm just going to stay really close to the cave. Or even better, I'm just going to wait for the antelope to come to the cave and then I'll eat it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like there'd be no break between the naps and the eating and the sprint. There would be no true sprint where you can go the distance, right? So I really did not get this. I didn't get it. And in fact, it really makes me question and want to do a study around Well, what if? I know that Spotify is among the companies that's actually um, providing co-working space for their employees if they choose to have co-working space versus go into the office now. And this is becoming a new trend. So, what is the impact of leaving and then coming back?
Hmm.
And we could do this, with or without COVID. You can put up a partition and keep people in partitions, but still have them away from the home space. So this is really the being human piece of it, is where lions are allowed to have their caves and their hunting areas. And and I think that a big human piece is knowing that, I mean, even if you're separating it in your home, but and if you need to, but just giving yourself that shoulders down moment. Be with family, be with friends, be with yourself, just reading a book or watching TV or something, but turning that hunter instinct of work off, like totally off. I went to lunch today without my cell phone.
Nice.
Yeah, because this is a work device. This cell phone is a work device. It's also an entertainment device, but mostly it's a work device. So I went to lunch, sat down, and for a moment I was a little lost because I'm like, I'm sitting here at a restaurant by myself and I don't have my phone to fiddle with. But it allowed me the opportunity to look around and, survey the savannah, so to speak. And so it's nice when you give yourself, and everyone needs something different. Everyone needs something different for their, human time. But
Yeah.
shouldn't it kind of all be human time?
Right. So bringing this in today, kind of like remembering it's not man versus machine, not quite yet, and that our productivity matters. It feels good to be successful. It feels good to produce, and we know that. But anything over that threshold, that line, when it starts having costs, we have to start looking at.
Hmm.
And I really love that you were able to kind of make take that leap for yourself of this is an investment, but I have a feeling I'm going to get so much more than what it costs.
Hmm. And that, just listeners, look at the landscape of your life, and maybe there are some things that are investments, but you don't know if you're going to get more of it for it or not. Like, invest in a month to month gym membership if you find one. um, Invest in maybe a networking group that, of people who will lift you up and empower you. Whatever look out in the landscape in your life, and if you have a pause and say, you know what, I really wish that I could have fill in the blank here. Breathe for a minute, then tell yourself you can have it and go get it.
Mm, I like that.
Because I said, I can't even tell for how long. I've said, I really wish I had a place that I could just be a workplace. Not all the time, not if I don't feel like it, but if I want to buckle down and work, I'm gonna do that at a certain place. But I didn't think that it was a smart decision. I robotized it. You look at the zeros and the ones, and it does not compute. Why would you have a place that you worked when you have a perfectly good fill in the blank here to work on or work at home? and it didn't compute until it just felt like, and what it took for me is I really had to start having some serious bouts of anxiety and sadness and um just really decrease productivity. So that's kind of the net effect is in the effort of trying to be so productive, you're actually not.
Yeah. And I think that was really kind of the nugget of today is when you can do things more in proportion and in balance, when your day can feel good most of the way through, because you're taking the breaks. It doesn't feel like punishment. It doesn't feel like something's chasing you. A lot of times that busyness actually feels like something's chasing you. And if you don't get it done right now, it'll never get done. And there's this crazy sense of urgency and you just go, 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 go. But like you said, Diana, I'm so glad you mentioned that. You're actually more prone to make mistakes. And then you have redos. And not only that, because that happens to me sometimes too, where I'll be going so fast that I'll send emails or texts that are missing like 5 words. And I think that they're there. Because in my head, I'm obviously texting this and people are like, what the heck does this mean? Obviously, I didn't have the time to send it the first time because I'm missing all these words. And then now I have to send it again and explain. And oh my gosh.
Yep.
So, I think we're all guilty of it. We can all relate to that. But there's this part of like, if I can't even send a text message, like with any sense of accuracy, maybe I need to take 5 minutes because I'm going so fast, I'm tripping over my own darn feet and not helping anybody here.
Well, here's my go-to mistake. I will write an email and not send it. So I will be absolutely certain that I communicated something, and I will go into my drafts box and it will be there. It is down to sincerely my name. And I didn't send it because I was going too fast. um One of my clients often will remind me, slow is fast and fast is slow.
Mm-hmm.
And since I started taking that to heart, I actually am able to work a little bit more methodically. And another thing that happens when we're going fast is we breathe shallow. So less anxiety, because you can actually make yourself feel anxious, listeners, immediately. Just start breathing real shallow and breathe mostly in and out through your nose, and you'll feel anxious in probably about 1 minute. And to let that go, you just breathe deeply, like there's a balloon in your belly, and breathe all the way down there, and then breathe out. And when you move your breath down, you actually calm yourself. Whereas when we're going fast, we are breathing up. And breathing up equals anxiety, equals mistakes, equals just we think we're being more productive. And boy, are we not. I used to be the go, 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 go crash girl. And and I'm pretty pleased that I think that the go go crash might be behind me, but who knows? I'm only human.
I love it. And on that note, thanks so much for listening today. And I'm hoping you can bring humanity to your business, to your home life, and back to yourself, remembering it's okay to be the squishy little being that you are. And that, when it's time to sprint, like Diane said, yeah, hunt. And when it's not, rest.
Exactly. This is Business Therapy, healing businesses from the inside out through communication and emotional intelligence. I'm Diane Hansen, management consultant.
And I'm Christine Salvo, licensed marriage and family therapist, certified mediator, and certified hypnotherapist. Thank you so much for listening. Have a wonderful day.
Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.